Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the vlog. So in today's episode we are going to get that door handle, not door handle, the door mechanism fitted on the passenger side of the TT, and we're taking our dash pod off, that's the dash clocks, and we're going to be sending those off to be repaired. So first of all we're going to deal with the locks, and then we're going to deal with the dash pod, and I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on how to take your dash pod out. Good, let's crack on and get on with our work. So we are back on the TT and we are going to have attempt number 2 at getting this door lock in. So we now got a replacement lock. Just to recap, this is the original door lock with the worn out micro switch. This is the one that was sent to me, which was completely wrong, and the reason why it's wrong is this socket here doesn't fit. Here's the correct one. Stand still, socket, stand still, behave. Okay, so you can see that this one is bigger than that one. See them together? You can see it's bigger. And this is the OEM one that I've got, which is right for this car, which is exactly the same. There we go. Okay, now I was attempting to show you the micro switches. Let me attempt again. So obviously this is the one that we've just taken off, and as you can see, it's the micro switch is this thing here, and the bevel down in here, that's where it wears out. Just down there there's a little bevel. If you could just zoom in, you can see it there. There's a little metal one here, and that wears out. This is the replacement one, and all being well, this one should be okay because it's come out a pretty good TT. Okay, so hopefully that will work. And this is the one that we're sending back, and this, they've got a little bit of metal down here. You can just see it in the camera there. So that would have been great had the fitment been correct. So we'll get this fitted up, and then it should work. It'll only work with the roof up. We've got the roof down at the moment, so when the roof's up, then we should see the window job. But let's get this fitted now. Okay, so the lock is secured by 3 bolts, which are really simple to put in, and then you connect up the control remote cable, which then connects into the actual control unit into the door. So you put the 3 bolts in. You can see me doing that here with my tool, and that's secured with an 8mm spline. And once that's in place, you put the shield in place, which will cover and protect it and connect out the power. So here I'm just checking the door to make sure it works. Now to put the cover back on is again pretty simple on the TT. There are 3 cable connections that you need to make. You can see me making those just about right now. So these connections are for the speakers and for the remote control for the door as well, so the window up and down switch. And once you get those in, then you just have to mount the door cover. It's a little bit tricky on the TT because it hasn't got poppers like a conventional car has. So you kind of hang it, and then at the end you put those end caps back in that we disconnected. So a little bit of to-ing and fro-ing, but eventually it will go back into place and will be secure. And then last of all, you put the bolt in that secures the door card to the actual door, and then the silver cap, aluminium cap to finish the job off, and that's it. Door card back in. Right, so we're taking the car out now, and we've reset the windows, so hopefully everything should work. So this is the driver side. You can see the door drops as it's supposed to. It goes up. Now let's take a look and see what the passenger side does, because this one is the one that never worked. And yay! So there you go, that's fixed. That brilliant. So that's that sorted. Now we're going to sort out the dash pod, and we're going to send that off to get repaired. Right, so let's now work at taking the dashpod apart to be sent away. So my dashpod is going to a company called PBH Services. Now I will talk to you in a moment at the end of this video why I've chosen PBH Services. They are one of many companies out there that do dashpod repairs, but for me it's all about customer service. PBH gave me the confidence that they could actually sort this out just by having the chat and the dialogue that I had with Paul, who owns the company. But more of that later. In order for you to get a dashboard repair, you got to take the dashboard out, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. There are multiple tutorials out there, but I'm going to show you how I've done this, because I've done this quite a few times on many of these TTs. And the reason why and we'll talk, like I said, we'll talk about this after. This dashpod here, basically it has the immobilizer embedded into the actual clock. So your key is coded to this actual dashpod. If this gets damaged in any way or is or you lose this, you literally have to reprogram a dashboard, because you can't just buy one of these on eBay and then stick it on your car, because it just won't start, because you have to code it. Now in the past, when I used to do this, you needed a app called VAGCOM. So VAGCOM is an early version of or it's a separate product that you use to actually program the key, or the dashboard, because it uses hexadecimal. You've got to literally copy the hexadecimal from your old into the new. Sounds complicated. It's not really that complicated, but the point I'm trying to make here is that the dashboard is an important element of your vehicle. So sending it to any person, you really need to know who the company is that you're sending your dashboard to be repaired, to make sure they don't damage it. Right, so to take this off, it's very simple. Literally there are two bolts that are holding it, and then there's two clips at the top you've got to be careful of. There's three connectors, a green, a grey and a blue connector. You can't get them wrong because they are color coded, and then you literally just have to remove this panel here. So I'm going to walk through the whole process, and we will take this off. Now the tools that you need are, you'll need a T25 torque driver or socket set. I've got a socket set because there are some of the ones here that are very tight to get hold of, and then of course there are two bolts holding this in place alongside the ones on the side here. Now once you remove this under tray panel here, there are then two further T25 port torque drives just here, and then that will release the clocks. Okay, you're also going to need yourself one of these tools here just to pull the panel off the side. You can do it with your fingers if you've got nails long enough. My nails are short, so I'm using this instead. Plus you don't want to damage this with a screwdriver, etc., because it can damage the trim. Good. Okay, so first of all we're going to take off our panel. It's pretty straightforward, and then it slides out. Okay, so I'll put that spring back later. Now then you've got these clips here. These are the T25 torque screws that you're going to have to disconnect. Now there is ordinarily one down here, but there's one missing from here, which tells me that this clock's probably been repaired or had something done to it in the past. So let's take these three off here. Basically it's this one here, and then this middle one here, because there's a little push panel that secures the bottom to the top, so that's quite important. It stops that panel from rattling. So I'm going to get my torque drive, and then we're going to then undo these panels. Okay, here we go. So we'll undo the first one. Right, so that's that one undone. The next one we're going to have to do is these two underneath here, and also at the same time you might want to just drop the steering wheel down, so that will give you more access to the panels underneath here. Right, so the next two screws, you can see just one there. I've loosened it slightly so I can do it one-handed, but you just undo that one there, screw will fall out, and then you do the other one on the other side. Okay, so the one on the other side is just underneath here. There also may be one just down there as well. Again, mine doesn't have that here, which tells me that this panel's been taken off before. But let me show you where that is, so hopefully you can see that. It's just there. So we'll again undo that. Hopefully, there you go. So that, there you go, that should free that up. Now, making sure that the steering wheel is down, we're just going to pull this panel off now. And that should, there we go, come out. You might just need to just pull that out there, and there you go. Put that panel back up there, and just be careful as you're taking this out, because there are some clips that hold the dashboard in place. There you go. So you can see these are the retaining clips, these little plastic trims here, and they go into these clips here, so they must be in place when you put that back, and these are obviously the joins that you're taking apart. Now, the screws that are underneath are just underneath this little flap here, so you got a bit of leather, and that's a screw there. We want to undo that. Okay, so once again, just get your T25 and then loosen the socket or the screw. There you go, that's that side. That should just come out. Here we are. And then you do exactly the same on the other side, and there's a screw there. Okay, so once you got that screw out, and I took that one off camera because it's a little bit tricky, the dashpod will be free to remove. Now, there is no real art or real process. What you got to remember that underneath here, so underneath the dashpod here, there are two springs, and you really don't want to damage those. So the best way I found to get these off is to basically grab it from just below here, both sides, and just pull it forward like that. Okay, and then what happens is that the screws won't come out, and then you've got access to the dashboard. And there's a green clip. Now these come out, they kind of swing with the actual lever, so don't be tempted to put any sharp tools because you could literally damage the plug. But literally there's a little retaining clip. You just get you can do these with your fingers. So if you get underneath, there you go, and then you just pull it out, then the whole thing will swing out. Once you get this side out, there you go, simple as that. You can then get to the other side as well. So the cable that holds the dashboard, and there's three of them, you should just be able to, here we are, we'll do the other side. So there's the blue one. Again, little clip, you just get your finger underneath there, and you should be able to, with your finger, here you are, get them undone. And once you've got those two out, the grey one is relatively easy to get to, because you can literally take the dashboard out and you can see the grey one there. And we do the same thing again, push that in, and then it swings out, and that's it. Then the dashboard comes away, and you've got your dashboard. So like I said, these are coded to the vehicle, so it's really important that you take a picture of your dashboard, so that if you do send it off to a supplier, that you're getting your dashboard back. It's got a serial number on the back there, which is unique to your car, and then you'll know that you've got your one back. So that's quite important. Right, let's get this sent off to PBH. Okay, thing or two about dashboard. As you probably heard me, or will hear me talking about, it is a vital piece of the TT. This is not like a conventional car where you can just get any dashboard or clocks and stick them into the car. On the TT, the immobilizer is coded to the clocks. So if you go and buy yourself some clocks from eBay and stick them in, they won't work because you have to code it to the car. Now for me, that's very important in the aspects of who I'm going to send my dashboard off to be repaired. They need to really know what they're doing. And if you look on eBay and if you just Google dashboard repair or dashboard this system repair, you will see loads of companies come up who offer this a service. There's just plenty. And for me, you need to pick the right company, one that's going to take care of your dashboard and has a very quick and speedy return, and also they know what they're talking about. So I rang up about 3 companies. 2 of them were in Facebook groups, etc. One of them's local to me. One of them has actually been on Wheeler and Dealer. So I actually ran them up, and just the whole conversation didn't inspire me or give me confidence. It was a case of, yeah, just send it in a post to us, mate, and then we'll have a look at it, man. It'll be a flat charge, etc., etc. The one that's local to me, I ran him up 3 times. I ran him up and she said to me, first of all, that someone would call me back. They didn't. I then filled out an online form and they never replied to that, which is crazy because it's an online form. You put your details in, they're supposed to come back to you. They never came back to me. So that didn't give me any confidence at all. In the end, the company that I chose was a company called PBH Services. Now, PBH Services, been around for a little while from what I can see. When I contacted Paul, I got an email the same day and he went through the process. I told him exactly what I wanted, what I thought was wrong with the vehicle or the dashpod. And then he gave me a comprehensive process of what he would do to confirm that. He also pointed me to a guide on how to actually take the dashpod off. Obviously I know how to do it, so I've done it plenty of times before. But all of this just gave me all the confidence that I needed to be able to choose PBH Services as a company that I was going to use. Now, I must stress, they are not paying me to this. This is not sponsored by PBH at all. I found them random from, actually the reference came from another YouTuber, a guy called Andy Charger, I think he is. He specializes in guides for Audi TT Mark 1s, so look him up. Show him some love. Tell him that you come from here as well, because what he's doing is pretty interesting actually. His reviews of TTs. Anyway, we digress. So I contacted Paul. He basically gave me a list of things to do, etc., what information to put in the box, and then he promised to turn it around very quickly. So I sent it off on a Monday. He got it on the Tuesday. I had it back here on Wednesday. And not only did I have it back before the dashpod came back, he gave me a list of things that he had done and what he had found. So the actual dashpod itself was okay. The problem was the backlights. So he sorted the backlights out for me, and he changed both the temperature gauge and the fuel gauge, because both of those were sticking, which is a common problem on the TT as well. And those are not too difficult to change, but he did it as part of the service. The dashboard came back on Wednesday, well protected in a nice box with a label on there of PBH Services to show that it's been repaired by them. Absolutely professional to the core. So if you're looking to get your dashboard done, I'm going to put their details down below. Like I said, this is not a sponsored link. This is just somebody who I recommend because of the quality of service and the great customer service that they offered as well. And they're pretty good pricing as well. Good. Let's get back to fitting it to the car. So, 3 days later, dashboard has been returned as promised. Excellent service from PBH, really good. I sent this off on Monday lunchtime. It's returned to me Wednesday lunchtime, which is perfect. Okay, so we're going to fit this back into the car now. Reverse, or fitting, is reversal of us taking it out. I'm going to put you on time lapse now so you can see me from above putting this in, and you can see just how easy it is to get this back together. Right, so dashboard back in is the reverse order of taking it out. So first of all, we put the 3 different connectors, the blue, the grey and the green, back into place. And once we get that into place, you just swing it back in underneath, making sure you don't damage the springs. and we secure the dashpod to the chassis of the vehicle with the 2 retaining bolts, again using T25 Torx drive. And I'm just checking to make sure that it works before I put in the bottom panel, which it does. Bottom panel goes on, again that just plugs into place, and then we bolt in the 3 screws or the 325 Torx that we undid on the side. Then we do the 2 underneath, and then that should be it, all back together. So that's the dashpod all back in place. Let's just give it a test. So straight away you see the fuel gauge pop straight up. Let me have a look again, look at that. Gauges work perfectly, that's really good to see. Before they would, it didn't move like that, and it was registering full, and now we're registering 3/4 of a tank. But more interestingly, the hot water, or the temperature gauge, is down where it should be at 0. The gauges in the middle are nice and clear, which is perfect, and all looks good. Let's give the car a quick start. Yep, everything looks fine. So the last thing that we've got to do is just put this the fuse box panel back on, and then that should complete the process. So we'll just maneuver that. Done. Complete. There you go. So this whole process took me what, about 20 minutes to do, and you saw it in a few minutes. Right, so that is it. So the dashpod's all in, that's great. Now this car is due an MOT, so I need to book it in for an MOT. So that would happen hopefully next week. But next week we're going to be taking this seat out and dealing with this seat. Now, like I said, the seats in this car aren't too bad, but it could be much better, and I've got a perfect kit to show you how to do that. You will enjoy this, because if you look at the seats here, they look quite cracked and old, but by the time we finish, this will look like a brand new seat. All of this here where it's worn, where the leather has worn, all of that will be much better and will look brand new. So stay tuned for that. I've done this before on a TT and it's come up perfect. So we're going to keep the color black, but it will look much better than this, so stay tuned for that. Right, okay, so the car is back together, which is brilliant, and everything's working. So the central locking is working properly. You saw the mirror or the window dropped. I'm going to clear the codes next week, but the car is pretty much ready for the MOT, except for the fact that I've got to replace a bulb, because now that I've got the new dash pods in, it's showing that one of the bulbs are gone, which is brilliant. So we'll get that changed. Hopefully we'll get the car done for an MOT next week. If we do, I'll film it. If not, you'll see it when it gets done. Would you believe that I've owned that car for just over a year now, and I've only done about 22 miles? Incredible, huh? Yeah. Right, okay, so what's happening next week? Well, next week we are going to be dealing with the seats, like I said. If you've not seen one of my seat videos before, take a look. And my back history on my black V6 TT, where I changed the seats from a horrible cream to a sort of a sand brown color, so a completely different color change. And the kit I used was from a company called Furniture Clinic. I've used them for years, because this is not the first time I've done my seats. Done them a few times, as I mentioned. So we've used them again, and we're going to use a black as well. We're going to do a matte black on the car, because at the moment it's a shiny level. That's because of all the oils that get released from humans. So matte black will take it back to the factory finish, and you will be impressed with this, because like I said, these kits are really good. So look forward to that next week. In the meantime, don't forget, where is it now? Oh, here it is. 30k subscriber list. We're going to be giving this away. This is a diagnostic tool that covers a multitude of vehicles, not just Audis and VWs. It covers a lot of vehicles. I won't say all vehicles, but it's got most European brands, and it comes in this fancy case. And all you have to do is be a subscriber. So once we get to 30k, we'll probably do a live stream or something like that, and then we'll give it away online. So that would be great. It's worth about £200. It's a decent coder as well. So if you're into sorting out your own vehicle, this is a vital bit of kit that you need as well, and it's all fully up to date. Good. Okay, so again, if you're a casual subscriber, click on the subscribe button down here, click on the bell notification if you're a regular subscriber, so you will be notified whenever we release a video, and we will see you on the next one. Oh, this week there'll be a midweek video because I'm reviewing this fancy OBD reader. Yes, it's from another company. Have I got it here? No, I haven't. You'll see it on Thursday, so look out for that one as well. In the meantime, have a great week.